All right, welcome everybody in. This is going to be a little different than normal. Today we're going to be talking with these three gentlemen. We've got the president of the Texas Center, Chad Ward. We've
Hey, how are
got,
you?
yeah, hey Chad, we've got, and you have to tell me which zone. You're a zone director,
Uh,
Ken.
yeah, zone one.
And Paul, you're a longtime Texas Center member, judge. You've hosted races for the Texas Center, and you've got one coming up a year from now, and next summer, around a little less or a little less than a year.
Yes, sir.
All three of you guys have been on before, and if people want to see those episodes, they can go back and check them out. We get into each of your histories and how you got started, and you two guys, Paul and Chad, having a one loft race, and Ken's all your success racing, and our trip to Belgium and everything like that. So people should definitely check that out. Today's episode, we're going to recap what we all just did here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. We had the Texas Center Summer Convention hosted here in Tulsa. First and foremost, shout out Erica Reed, who without her, we wouldn't have had, I think we all could agree, we wouldn't have had a summer convention.
That's right.
Exactly.
Yeah, she was superwoman for sure, making it all come together and busted her butt to make it happen and hosting. And so it was an awesome event. Enjoy seeing everybody. And so, Chad, being the Czech Center president, tell the people what the summer convention is and was and what we got into.
The summer convention has been hosted for about 60 or 70 years now. In the summertime, it's always a good time for the families to come together and, you know, get away, from our daily life and kind of just get away and relax and meet some of our old friends and see some new ones. And it's a good time and get to talk some pigeons and watch a few little races and have a good time.
How many years have you guys been going to it now? Do you know?
I
Oh,
started,
shoot.
Let's go
go
with
ahead, Paul.
I'd have to think about that for a second. Probably, oh man,
Oh, well,
15 years.
Yeah.
that's what I'm wanting to say. I think my first convention was probably 2012, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think my first one's probably a little before then, and then we quit going for a while and started going back around 2011.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of fun going because when you think about it, when you hear about Texas Center Summer Convention, you think it's a race, but it's much more than that. And that's what I wanted to go over, kind of recapping what we did. So, our this particular convention was Wednesday through Saturday. So people showed up Wednesday, some show up Thursday, whenever they're available. It was held at the Osage Casino just north of downtown Tulsa, and there's a room there where Seagulls was set up. Our buddy Calvin Gall was set up with his Versalaga feed and products. And so you can go there and buy some products if you want to. Then there's another room dedicated to kind of some of our banquet dinners in the evening that we all gather around and eat. And then, of course, late in the night is when the real fun begins. Everybody gets to hang out in the hospitality room. And that's really where you get to hear the stories and talk pigeons on a different level. And I think that's really one of the most special parts is listening to obviously you three guys, us talking theories and talking about pigeons and our losses and wins and everything. But hearing some of the guys that have been around a long time, like CL Gage or Rick Martis or Steve Trotter, talk pigeons, it's really special and unique. And I think it's something that if you're obsessed with pigeons like us, four guys are, it's definitely something people should come to and be a part of.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
That's the
Well,
fun part of the deal. You know what I'm saying? Just getting together with the old timers, and they ain't gonna be here forever, guys. So that's the
that's
fun
right.
part. Get in there, and just shut up and listen. Sometimes it's fun. I love it.
Yeah,
The stories,
indeed.
the old stories. That's what makes it worth it, man. It
Yeah.
really is.
You get more like a family than like just friends when you go to all these events all the time.
Yep. Yep.
And
That's what it's become.
a lot of good information starts floating around there between about midnight and 3 a.m. That's when the real strategies come out.
Yeah, I heard there
Yeah,
was some real good
that's when
strategies this year. Yeah.
that's when you start learning the secrets.
Right?
That's when the good secrets come out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but that's what makes it fun. I mean, we need more of it. That's the problem.
Yeah.
These Everything has got so spread out now, and nobody goes. It's so technology has made us all so far apart from each other because it's just easy. We can stay home and not have to go. But I think that's what's so cool about the Texas Center. Everybody gets together. It's kind of like a little family and have fun, and we can't wait to see each other and have a good time. And kids come and we do a lot of good things for the kids. I mean, the ladies auxiliary. I mean, we they raise a lot of money and pay out a lot of scholarships to a lot of great kids that are all pitch and flying orientated kids. So it's really worth it. I mean, if you've never been a part of the Texas Center Convention or been a part of one, you need to be a part of one because that's the fun of it. You're going to meet people that you've never met, and you're going to be a part of something that's helping people. Helping better the sport, helping, like I said, kids with their scholarships, and you'll meet a lot of neat people. So
I
it's
think
really
this
cool.
year we give 12 or 15 of the scholarships. I think throughout the whole AU, they don't ever give 2 or 3. And every year the Texas Center gives 10 or 12, 15, 20,
Yeah, I
sometimes,
think this year, yeah, they
I
gave
think this year was
22 this year.
22. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's got to
and
be up there as an all-time high, I would
That
think.
was, they said that was their most, applicants received was this year. And I think they said even half of those were freshmen. So, those are going to be repeat
Be back there every
customers.
year
yeah,
for 3 more. Yeah,
the kids can get it for 3 years.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome.
absolutely.
yeah, it's
And
pretty
and
neat.
it is family oriented, and that's a good thing. And I'll look, me personally, I told Jane when we left, 'cause last year we missed because of my work schedule. I couldn't get off to go to Florida. And going this year on the way back, I was like, I really needed this because you get caught in the grind and you kind of get burnt out. And it's like that was a good refresher to come see
Yep.
everybody and to get back on the enjoyment side of it. And was, kind of, I needed that little boost and didn't even realize it till we was heading home.
Every year it kind of gets me like fired up, ready for young bird season and get ready
Right,
to fly.
right,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I always enjoy getting back in the loft after talking to everybody and seeing everybody. And,
right,
we're all friends here, but Ken's, you're down in Louisiana, Paul's down in
right.
Texas, and Chad, you're right there in the Alabama, Florida, line right there, right off the water. And
Right.
so we don't get to see each other, as much as we'd like to, but that's a time where we get to catch up and hang out, and it definitely is motivating and makes it a lot of fun to, I think we all know that in the summertime like this, there's just not much going on. There's no other
Yeah.
races. Your young birds are, getting out early if they get out at all, if you're not waiting on their flights to grow out. So it's just a time to enjoy a race. And a lot of people said, well, it's too hot that time of year. And at times it certainly can be, but we certainly make sure that the birds are trained properly and that the distance is as far as the weather will allow. We don't push them beyond what the weather allows, so you get a
Yeah.
good race with good returns. I thought John and Erica Reed did a great job getting good returns and putting on a great event this year in particular.
Definitely. And that's the fun of it. You get there and you rub shoulders with guys like yourself and start talking pigeons and start talking theories and ideas and methods and breeding pairs and genetics. And it's just like Ken said, you get all Chad, you get all fired up. You can't wait to get back to the loft and put some pigeons in your hand and think, you know what, maybe I am on the right track. And some of them you think, well, maybe I'm not, so that's the fun of it. You come home and try to better yourself and cull a few pigeons and whatever. It's just part of the game.
It
So,
always makes me want to come home and like, this is what I need to do next year for the summer convention. I need to put this one together because this is what's doing. You know what I mean?
you
It's kind of an eye-opening experience.
Yeah,
yeah, it does. Even though the distance is only, Eric and John went what
150.
150, not 160. Let's say 160 to be safe.
Yeah,
But people's like, well, it's just 160 miles. But the thing of it is, it's 100 degrees.
yeah.
Or mid 90s and the humidity's off the chart. So them pigeons are still flying a good 350. It's just it takes a special kind of pigeon to pull it.
It's low yards a
Um,
minute too.
yeah, 1,200, 1,300 yards a minute. That's still a pigeon race. So you know, it's different. And a lot of guys are like, oh, I don't want to do it because it's only 150 miles. Well, it's trust me,
Yeah.
it's not as easy as you think it is. So
No, it's not. And
if
that
you think
the
it's easy, then
best
come on, give it a shot.
and the best way to learn that is
Come
host
on.
one.
I
You
believe
learn.
our Texas Center summer conventions is compared to the South African races, as far as the temperatures and humidity and all that.
Yep.
The heat.
Yeah,
And
because you
I
can't.
promise you.
It trying. I've handled them. I've handled the conventions and then trying. Ken's handled. We've all handled them. But just had same here. But trying to the crazy thing is, guys, and I mean y'all can relate to this is trying to get them trained. I mean,
Exactly.
fighting the weather and fighting the heat. You're sitting there way before daylight, just trying to give them that just little edge to get home before it gets so hot.
Yep.
And then Erica and them, they trained out to like 73 miles one or two times, and then boom, jumped them to 150 or 160, and had a great race. So it's tough, but a lot of good pigeons, and it went good. So it
Yep.
can be done.
It can be done, and it's just a learning curve. I remember the first year we hosted a summer convention. It was like, poof, that opened my eyes because how you train in June and July, August to fly, or June to fly July is way different training August to fly in September for
Oh,
down here.
much.
And
Yeah.
and the feeding's different too. You have to feed a
Oh
little lighter than
yeah,
what you normally feed.
yeah,
A lot of barley.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to stay away from that heavy stuff 'cause it's so hot on them pigeons,
Oh
man. It's unbelievable. And you can keep them birds a little thinner, a little lighter, just because they just don't need all that fat because it's just hot. Like
yeah.
my race, in the fall, it's a lot different. I don't have to
Oh,
fight the heat. You pour the grain to them, pour that corn to them, and safflower and pound them. But this deal, man, you can't do it. It's just too hot on them. They can't handle it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
but
and
that's the fun of it.
back to what Chad just said a second ago about, going back and figuring out what pairs are going to work better. I had two birds in the first day. We had an A race and a B race. On Thursday was the A, B was Friday. And both A and B race, my birds were just a little bit behind the winners, maybe 10 minutes or so. And, I love you guys, but you guys getting in that first drop on that B race and I wasn't in there, that pisses me off. So I'm gonna have to get back to the lab and figure out what to send for next summer and get back up in there to compete with you guys. So yeah, I guess I should say, on the B race in particular, which is I guess the high roller category, a little bit more of an entry fee. Ken and Paul, you both had one in the first drop, right?
Yep,
Yes, sir.
yep. I think Paul clocked third and we clocked fourth on
Yep.
the nine bird drop. Yep.
Yep. It's good.
Oh
And that the bird of mine, and I mean Ken can elaborate on his
yeah.
or whatever, but the bird of mine is, was designed to fly 350, 400. I mean, it's
Oh
it's a tougher, longer distant type pigeon. And you think, well, it's only 160 miles.
yeah.
It don't matter. You still have to have them kind of pigeons to pull it.
Yeah.
And that's
So
exactly, and that's mine on the cockbird side with some, the old South African blood bred on a claw's hen, bred back to a claw's hen. Because I've
yeah.
learned that too. You think you send some speed, the speed
No,
birds don't cut it in that
no,
race.
no.
You
Mine,
need
I mean,
some grit.
mine was half Rozier and half Kittle. uh, trying to keep a little speed in there, but still had to have that distant
Uh,
type pigeon in the background
uh,
to pull it. So it's but that's the fun of it. You never know.
you
You know,
never know for real.
never know. I won it. I was on the first drop there 4 years ago when they had it
Same.
with the grandpa of the baby that was on the first drop last weekend,
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, yeah.
which was straight Kittle. And so I'm saying that some of them can do it, but that was the grandbaby of that pigeon that won it 4 years ago. So
Yeah. I got one on the first drop in 2023 down in Denton, and I should have resent out of that pair or
there
out
you
of the
go.
one or out of the one that did it then. And I tried some new stuff, and it wasn't like they raced bad. I think if there would have
Oh,
been
no,
another week or
right.
two of racing, they would have been all right. But that's the fun part, is trying to figure out what the right combination that works. And another cool thing that we have at the summer convention we had is there was 62, 63 birds in the auction.
Yes.
And this is top lofts around the country donating birds for the auction. Part of the auction goes to the ladies auxiliary, which goes to the scholarships we discussed, and the other part goes to the club hosting. But you're talking some really quality pigeons in that auction with 60 plus birds available. So, people that are there in person had the advantage of holding them and finding the bird that felt right to them and looking at the pedigrees and talking to people. And the auction's always a fun time as well.
Yes.
Yes.
And thanks to all the great breeders, that
Exactly.
donated all around the country, which helps, helps the people that put on the event, and then definitely helps the ladies auxiliary give away them scholarships to the youngsters. So that's always good. We couldn't do it without everybody. Couldn't do it without all the great people and friends that are not even in the Texas Center or don't even fly the Texas Center, but they are gracious enough to donate a great bird to help,
Yeah.
give, where we can give money away to these kids for the scholarships and stuff. So it's greatly
Yeah.
appreciated. That's for sure.
And that's one I'll see because I know me personally, I've bought some good birds at that auction year in and year out has quality in them. I mean,
Yes.
obviously not, but over the years, I've personally bought a few birds out of that auction that has served me well. So it's
Yeah.
not
It's,
it's
there's a lot of
just the
variety.
quality of what everybody's seeing. Yep.
Yep.
A lot of variety. You can find whatever kind
Correct.
of bird you're looking for. There's bee
Exactly.
bird or hot bird or whatever.
Yep.
Yep.
Name brands, what I'm saying? Name brand
Correct.
genetics
Correct.
that are winning all over the country were donated to the race. I mean, to this auction,
Correct.
which made it super, super cool. There's a lot of birds, a lot of great birds in the auction. I mean, I don't know if
They were. They
I
were.
didn't hold them all, but there was a lot of good ones in
Yeah.
there.
And a lot of good ones that only went for a couple $100. I mean, if
Yeah.
it also suits every budget. You had a couple that went for 3,000 and a couple that went for a couple hundred, and all of, the ones that went for a couple hundred, some of them had race records and were out of top families. There's a lot of opportunity there too. So that's a cool part of it. And then a different we have dinner, like I said, every night. We all meet together and have dinner that the casino provides. Erica Reed set that up, but she did a little something different this year. And I think it was Friday night. We had game night where we all uh,
Yeah.
participated in different games. They had a host come in. That was kind of different and fun. It got everybody off their butt
Um,
and having a good time.
Our
Yeah,
team
that
of the
was good.
guys would have won, but the other team cheated on us.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, we had them beat.
We
Yeah,
had
yeah.
them.
Yeah, we just let them win. We try to be nice.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
There's all sorts of games played and a lot of fun there. So there, for the guys watching who think, well, what's my wife going to do while this is going on? The ladies auxiliary takes the ladies out, and they have a couple of vans they rent and takes them to shopping malls and different places to eat
Uh,
and have a good time. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's an
Yeah,
overall good
the
family.
ladies have their pretty much own agenda. They go
yeah.
shopping and then they have
They,
like bingo night. They'll play some kind of other game, the horse race game, and then they have their own business meeting and breakfast and all too. It's just not a guys events and pigeons. It's about the women and the kids too.
Yeah,
uh,
definitely.
Well,
Yeah,
and
it will
then,
be.
go ahead.
And I mean, that's the key. What I'm saying? You got to give the girls something to do, and between Miss Patty and Jane and Kimberly and all the ladies that part of it, they're all trust me, they're gonna find something fun to do. So you girls will have something good to do. I guarantee you.
It's like when we hosted it here at the house. We're 30 miles from the Gulf of America now, and
Yeah,
all the ladies went to the beach, a couple days, and got to lay out on the beach.
uh,
Yeah.
nice, nice.
Well, do we want to cover anything else that I missed with the summer convention?
Um,
just to expound on what we already said, because it's kind of growth, and we all know it. It turns into it's a big family because that's really what it is.
that's what it
It's
is.
and
That's what we
everybody
want it to
looks
be.
forward to going seeing everybody. That's part of to go see your old friends, and when you get there, it's like one big family. Everybody, and that's just the. a big group and it's just good that way.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
I
that's
started
that.
going, it was up in the 200s, and now we're 100 or less because a lot of the older generation that used to go has died off.
Correct, correct.
Yeah, or can't go. Just can't get there
Yeah.
physically.
Yeah.
And that's why we've got to work on this younger generation to because once they come and be a part of it, then it's like they you won't then they'll keep coming because it's fun. It's like Ken said, it's like a family. I
Yeah.
mean, we can't wait to see each other. Everybody gets together, has a good time, and people bid on each other's birds, and the different.
All
That's what makes it
bump
fun.
bump each other up, that's
Yeah,
all part of the fun.
that's part of the fun. You can't get mad. You just got to get even.
And I believe if somebody was to come as a first time to the convention, they would come back year after year after year because I mean it's a new experience, a new place to go every year.
Yeah.
It's like a family.
Yep, yep, it's good.
And everybody does a great job, whether it's the ladies auxiliary or us guys. We all do a great job of bringing new people in and letting them feel like they're a part of it. We're not a closed, group where, it's a clique that only a few people are involved in it. If
Oh
you want to come be a
no.
part of it, we want you there. We want to hear what you have to say and learn from the guys that are there. And, some of the information I've gotten over the years from those hangouts has been real valuable.
It
And,
is.
I've been,
And the seminars and that they
that's
put
true.
on
Yeah.
too. Because look, I know when I first started going, I learned a lot by going to the. You'll learn way more information going there than you ever will just club and combine racing.
Oh
And that's
yeah,
a fact.
definitely. And a lot of
And
times, if you'll
there's a
just
lot to learn.
and a
Yeah,
lot of times if you'll just get in amongst the groups of guys talking
yeah.
and just listen, pay attention,
That's
and
what I
want to
did.
and want to learn. Trust me,
Yeah,
ask the question and sit back and let several
that's
people answer it
and
for you, and
And
you're
that's
going
the
to learn a
first
ton.
few years. And that's the first few years. That's exactly 'cause I didn't know nobody when I started, but I sat in that hospitality room and just listened.
Yep.
Everybody talking, I was just soaking all that in.
Yeah,
And
that's the
that,
fun of
there's
it.
a
You listen
lot
to
of valuable information that goes up.
Yeah, get around them old timers, these guys that's been flying for
Uh,
30, 40, 50 years. And just drop a question every once in a while and then sit back and keep your mouth shut and listen. You're gonna
yeah,
learn, boy.
yeah,
Promise you. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's a great point too, Ken. That we have that's part of your the package deal is the seminars. I forgot to mention that this
yeah,
year.
Yep.
John Timmerman discussed all things one loft
uh,
racing and
yeah.
the uh, the Q&A of that. People, if you had a particular question, needed advice for one loft racing, you can learn from a guy who's been doing it a long time.
Yeah. And that's the key, and uh, you know, I'm not gonna skip ahead, but I got some things planned too. We're gonna help, you know, people with some questions and it's
Yeah.
gonna be fun. So but go ahead.
Well, and then
We'll get to that in
2023.
a minute.
Yeah, 2023, Raf Herbots came over from Belgium to Denton and did a
Right,
seminar, and
right.
I took a couple pages worth of notes and did some changing to
Yeah,
my
yeah.
operation off of that one. So it's pretty awesome all the things you get out of that weekend, and you don't even have to be a member of the Texas Center to come and enjoy this stuff.
Correct,
Part of it.
correct.
We'd love for you to join, but certainly don't have to.
Yeah, we'd love to have everybody as a member.
Yeah. Well, that is the summer convention recap. We just had it last week, into the weekend on Saturday. Now we shift to the winter. Texas Center winter meet and convention is going to be down there in Louisiana and Rain. And if you're not familiar with Rain, it's basically Lafayette. Was that right, Ken?
Right, right, right.
So
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna
just, yeah,
have
was
we're gonna have intake for that race continuing through the rest of this month, right?
correct, correct.
So if
And
you have birds in your loft and you wanna get them tested by one of the top flyers in the USA, Ken and Jane are hosting and are going to be training the birds. And when does that race take place?
and we start well the final it's actually a three race, or if you include the activation race, it'd be a four race series. But the final race we shoot for 325 miles, which will be January 3rd, which is the first weekend in January. Because that weekend host we'll have a championship show, the winter business meeting, and the race. And then we have that kind of same atmosphere as the summer convention. More, we'll have good food and kind of that hospitality atmosphere where everybody can just hang out and feed the breeze, and we'll get a few drinks under our belt and let the real strategists fly a little bit and all the secrets. And I'm telling y'all laugh, but for anybody new, you want to learn some secrets, that's the time to learn.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
And there'll
but
be
what?
3 or 4 qualifying shows before then that the clubs
Yeah,
host. I know me and Dick Corso and Tom Wester's gonna host one in Slidell, and y'all
yes,
will host one in Lafayette. I know
yeah,
Galveston's clubs hosting one most of these clubs that have them in December. The
yeah.
Waco's gonna have one. Tulsa area will have one. There'll be several of them throughout their whole Texas Center. Just pay attention to the Texas Center website. That's where all the information is.
Yes, and so for the ones that don't know, because I'm not a big show guy, I'm more just on the racing end. But for any people who do love to show, you have to qualify a bird to be able to show in the championship show. So if you're going, I think it's Texas Center.org.
TX T
TXCenter.org.
TX,
yeah,
yeah,
txcenter.org.
and they will post once those qualifying show dates get filled, they will post them, but you do have to be qualified to be able to come show at the championship show. And we will have, as Keith LeJack and Jeff Lamberton will be our 2 championship show judges this year. uh, and that's always a good time, and a lot of guys do like the shows. Like, I've just never really got into them, but for the guys that do like them, they it's a good time for that as well.
Yeah. So you can enter birds into the race, you can bring birds to show, or you can just come hang out, whatever you want to do. But
Yeah,
there's a lot for a pigeon
exactly.
guy to do.
And we'll have an auction then too.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Be more birds up for auction at it too.
Yeah, we'll have an auction at that time, and because just I'll throw the dates out real quick. I'll get this up back right, because we doing the activation December 13th, which is 100-mile activation. Just to explain it, most winter meets only, it's a one race deal. But we going 325. So if I got to train the birds out to get them ready for that, if I got to drive 150 miles, we just don't make it a race. So we gonna have a 150-mile race December 20th. We're gonna go 225 miles December 27th, and we scheduled for 325, but we're gonna make it a race. That's January 3rd, meaning if it's gonna be a 10, 12 mile an hour blow home, we gonna push them out even farther. We want to get them some hours on the wing to get that separation. Even look, last year was the last time we hosted it was should have been a little harder race than what I thought, and we still got 12 birds on the drop, which is a little too much. I don't like that, but it is what it is. I don't. We got me in a perfect world. If you get 2, 3, 4 birds separate from the group and show what they are, that's kind of what I'd like it to be. I don't like them big hard bird drops, but so, like I'm saying, if it's gonna be a tailwind that we know it ain't gonna be coming, we may stretch them out to 350 or something. But they gonna go 325 for sure.
Good.
And yeah, the weather also in Louisiana that time of year is
Oh,
much
yes.
nicer than right now. Right now you
No,
all are hot and
correct.
humid, right? But then
Exactly.
it's really beautiful weather down there.
Right. Right.
They'll have all the results on Web Companion on Benzing Live
Yeah.
and on the
Yeah.
Texas Center page, so everybody can be able to see all the trainings and everything that's happening there.
Correct.
If you're not
Correct. Yeah.
able to attend.
Yeah. Everything will for sure be on Benzing Live, because we have a live unit, and James has already got with Camille to set up a separate account, separate from ours, just for the winter meeting. So we'll
Awesome.
be posting all that as well. Matter of fact, we are working on she is working on the inventory, so we'll be post getting all. We was kind of letting the summer convention. We didn't want to, getting out too much information, but now the summer's over, we're gonna start posting and showing and getting stuff out.
Well,
Good.
you all had great returns last time you did it a couple of years
Yeah,
ago. the returns were great. The event was awesome. The food was amazing, and yeah, it was just a excellent time all the way around.
Yeah, good time was had.
But what anything else I'm missing on the winter meet?
I think that pretty much covers the winter. And we will post an itinerary. We're working on that, hotels and all that kind of stuff. Once we get all that put together, we'll update the website and get it all finalized and where we'll be hosting like auction birds and all that sort of stuff. We'll get it lined out and get it out to everybody in town. 'Cause like we said, that's gonna take place the first weekend in January is when it's scheduled. The third is that Saturday, but people will start coming in, I'm sure, that Friday night. And for the ones who do come in early, we'll have that kind of hospitality atmosphere. We'll have something cooked and drinks and get the weekend started.
We're shooting fireworks out in the crawfish field on New Year's and New Year's Day and all that.
New Year's around here gets pretty frisky, so y'all come on down.
Well, and
Yeah,
if you're in the Oklahoma area and want to show your birds, December 13th, it's going to be hosted by the Pro Club in Oklahoma City. I think it's going to be in Norman, and I'll be judging that one as well. I don't know who's going to be assisting me on that one, whether it's Josh Prater or Charlie Mayfield, so we'll see on that. But that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. And so then that's where we transition into next summer. So Paul and Kimberly at the Flying D decided that they would like to host it this year. And so you're going to try and shake things up a little bit and make it a little bit different than years past. And so give the people a breakdown of what y'all are thinking and what timing it's all going to be and all that.
Well, yeah, we're gonna dive in and see if we can have some fun with it. We're going not everything like Ken said. We're still getting itineraries and everything. We still got a little time, but we'll get some stuff. But I think as of right now, we're going to try to do the race July. Well, but the convention will be July the 9th through the 12th. So come in on Thursday, handle your birds for the A race. It'll race on Friday. Handle your birds Friday evening for the B race on Saturday. And then we'll have the winter meet, the meeting, and then auction on Saturday, and then banquet dinner on Saturday night, and everybody go home on Sunday. We're going to try to do two races, A and a B race. The cheaper race is the A race, like a 175 entry fee. It'll be a 125 perch, 175 entry fee. And then on the high roller race, it'll be a 125 perch and a 275 entry fee. And then what we're going to do is we hadn't decided if we're going to take $25 or $50 from each one of them entries on each race and make a center column, a center race. It's really not a race, but a center column. And we're going to give away and try to do a deal where it'll be the top 3 or top 5, just depends how much money's involved, top 3 or top 5 top Texas Center breeder awards. So what we'll do is the only way to compete for that money in the center and the only way to fly for them awards is you have to enter both races. And what we'll do is we will take your first bird in on your A race and your first bird in on your B race, and we will keep score with the score, being scores as far as, like, let's say they have 150 go to the A race. The first bird in will get 150 points, 149, 148, 147. So we'll keep the number of points on each race, and then we'll take your first bird on each race and put them across each other and combine them scores, and that's how that center column will add up. And that's how we were determining the top 3 or top 5 Texas Center, a breeder award. So
That's awesome.
yeah, so come be a part, try to be a top, how cool. I told the guys, I said the only bad part about handling the convention is I don't get to compete in it.
Yeah.
It's not,
Well,
that's the fun, that's the bad part. But
and I thought about that because you did say that, which is true, but I think that's something worth y'all you coming up with this idea and getting it going, that's something we should be able to keep going and where you can compete in the, the years to come. But
Yeah,
I
I think
like,
it'll be
that's a
fun.
good idea. Yep.
It'll kind of it'll kind of make people want to enter both races because
Right,
then they
right.
can compete for the money in the center and the award. Hey, I was the top breeder in the Texas Center Convention in
Correct.
2026. You know what I'm saying? Or I was second, I was third, or whatever. And by us putting that money in there, you're not just getting an award, you're going to get paid too.
Exactly.
So,
And and exact for people that don't or maybe haven't participated, to think it's a small race, the numbers aren't big, but brother, the competition is very stiff. You better bring your A game to come. I know whoever wins those awards, it's not gonna be given to them. They
it
gonna
ain't
have to
gonna be
earn
easy.
that.
They're gonna have to earn it.
Yeah, I guarantee you, because once people find out about it, then they're gonna, uh, let's just put it like this. A lot of times to the A race is cheap. So a lot of guys will send sometimes
Yeah,
they'll send
yeah.
test bombs. The high
Correct,
roller race is
correct.
more expensive. So they'll send their better babies. Well, now it's liable to get a little serious deeper than
Yeah,
both of them, because now you want your top bird and your top bird in each race, so they can take and combine them points to see where you stack up on that list.
Yep.
So
exactly.
you want to be up front, I promise you.
Yeah, yeah.
So it'll kind of push people to be a part of both of them, which will make the race be a lot better, be more competition, be more money.
Um,
And that's what we're all after, at the end of the day. That's why we send them. So you want to
um,
compete against, the great guys, and you want to win some good money if you do win. So I think it'll be a lot of fun. Uh, Miss Kimberly, like I said, Miss Kimberly will have she's already planning. She's a year away, but she's already got a lot of stuff going, and she'll
Nice.
have some really cool things for the ladies to do. Um, we'll have buses where she can take them to Fort Worth and Windstar Casino. I mean, they'll have a lot of cool things to do. We'll be hosting it here at the ranch. We have the canteen and all the facilities. The food will be outstanding, I promise you. The hospitality will be off the charts, and we'll have a good time for sure. So,
yeah.
if you want to be a part of the convention, come be a part of it. You'll have a good time. And I would say this, just a tip: pair your birds up the first part of December, and we'll start taking birds February the 1st. And if people's coming to my race, they can actually bring their babies, to the race, and we'll hold them until the next week when we start taking them. So if it'll help anybody, but if it was me and I was going to plan for something this, I'd pair my birds up the first week of December, and I'd February the 1st, I'd be knocking on my door, dropping them off or sending them. So
Man,
that
my,
way
my
they
suggestion on the summer races is like Paul says, get them there early, because I mean they get to orient it, and then the birds is racing in the end of June, 1st of July, so they need a little bit of age on them.
they ain't got much time. You got to get them there. And so what we might do is, I haven't, like I said, there's some details to work out, because this all just come about last weekend. But I might kind of shorten up the intake a little bit. That way we're not dragging this thing out so long, because that's you talked like Erica and different ones that's had it, Chad and Ken, and different ones. It's just that you keep taking them, keep taking them, keep taking them. It just never, it's just too hard. You got to just shorten the window and everybody get them in here, and then let's go racing. Let me do my job. So
Yeah.
um, it's hard when you just make the intake so long and just keep pulling them in, because every time you keep bringing them in, everything just kind of gets set back another step, and then you're dealing with a bunch of little old squeakers. It's
Exactly.
tough.
Yeah.
Yep.
And for
So
anybody that's never been, or maybe not a part of the flying D fraternity, anything y'all do, it's always a great time. The
Absolutely.
party, the food is gonna be a blast. So it's definitely, you don't want to miss it. Like if you kind of on the fence, this is one you gonna want to get in and come be a part of.
You're gonna have all the top flyers in the country involved
Oh, I
in this race,
see.
and a lot of them will be at the race. Be a good chance to meet a lot of the people.
yep.
Correct.
There will be a lot of people that will get into this race because of us, and it's being hosted here, and they're already in our race. So therefore, we're going to get a lot of names in here that you haven't, flown against, or you may fly against them, but it's in, the Hoosier, or it's in the big races. So it'll be a lot of fun. And then, like I said, I'm sure a lot of them will come to the race. So
It'd be a
come
good
have a
time
good
because I
time.
mean, you get to see people's name on the internet, but you don't ever get to put a face with
No,
them.
mention
The
it.
Texas Center thing will be you get to see meet them, put a face with
Yep.
them, have a
Shake
conversation with them, shake their
shake a
hand.
hand, yeah, shake a hand, have a conversation, ask them a question, and pick on their brain and try to find some try to find out some things to help yourself. And we're going to try to have
Yeah.
I've already got a deal set up. I'm going to try to have a seminar, try to squeeze a little seminar in there one day. I don't know, probably on Friday, maybe. I'm going to try to get 4 or 5 really top one loft guys, not owners of one loft races, but guys that do extremely well in one loft races, and have them do a little seminar, and we'll do a little Q&A with them, helping younger guys out. Hey, how do you select your babies? What do you breed for? What do you look for? What's your thought concept on what you're doing and how you're doing it?
Right.
Give us some tips on what you're doing, what you're looking for. So
Right.
um, it'll be fun. We'll have a good time, and I mean, I dang sure come be a part of it. I guarantee you, we're gonna have a blast for sure.
Well, and like you guys were talking about putting a face to a name, I got to meet Mike Cortez for the first time this past weekend at the convention, summer convention, and
Yeah,
I've
great
heard
flyer.
I've heard that name over the years and all the success he's had down there in Florida and the GHC uh, area down there, which is a very difficult place to fly. And he's winning a lot of races there and having a lot of success. And you hear the name, but then I got to shake his hand and talk pigeons with him, and he's just a really smart guy, really passionate about the birds, and
Knowledgeable, very
very
knowledgeable.
knowledgeable, and
Yep.
has some super bloodlines and a lot of knowledge on how to train and prepare the pigeons. So I was just asking him questions and listening, and the way they do things in Florida is a little different than how we do things here in Oklahoma. But there's a lot of common things that kind of reassured me, and some other things I heard that I didn't think about, and kind of can implement into what I do. So that was pretty cool. Just kind of thought
If
about
you
that.
if you pick up one thing, it's worth it. Trust me.
Yeah,
If you
That's
pick up
right.
one
That's
thing that'll
right.
help your program, it's worth it. I mean, that's the key. Oh,
Because everybody does something different. I do
yeah,
something different than
everybody.
Paul. Paul does something different. Ken does something different.
And that
Jeff,
is.
everybody does something different.
Yep.
And that's the fun about pigeon racing. There are many rules to roam because you can talk to 10 different guys who can do 10 different things, and all 10 of them going to win races. So it's not
Yep.
anyone. You can just hear good little ideas to incorporate in what you're already doing just to bring you that, few steps closer to and getting better and better. Because it's just, it's not saying just to totally do away with your system. It's just learning little tricks to incorporate with what you already doing.
Yep. That's the key. Just little one. If you pick up, like I said, if you pick up one thing,
Right.
right.
get around them top guys and just listen, pay attention, ask the question here and there, and listen. I think it's crazy how uh, I like to hang around the old guys, and some of the old
Exactly.
methods. We've got away from a lot of that old stuff, and we incorporate some of that stuff back into what we knew nowadays. Yeah, we're
Right.
we're better off technology, but back then they had a lot different style of pigeon than we have nowadays. It was tougher and harder, and when they went to a release station, they turned them loose. They didn't bring them back.
All
They
right.
didn't have, they couldn't tell that there was a cloud in the middle of the course. They turned them loose.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it different style, but it's pretty neat to listen to them guys. They ain't gonna be here forever. So every chance you
That's
get to
right.
listen to one of them, like my dad used to say when I was a kid, he said, "You want to learn something? Find a man with gray hair and sit close to him
That's
That's
great.
Wow.
right.
and pay attention."
Yeah.
So
Well, and you look at that hospitality room, I was just kind of sitting here thinking, you got guys that have been in the top 10 President's Cup, top 10 champion loft in the ARPU, first drop in all the major one loft races in the country, some of the international races. You got guys who have won those things,
yeah,
and they're right there. You can go talk to them. You can talk to them about what they did, how they did it, and everyone's very open and honest and discussing it. So, we've kind of hammered that point, but it's definitely worth saying it because
Definitely.
that's worth the trip in itself if you're a passionate pigeon flyer like we are for sure.
Definitely.
And I've been the past 2 years to the Flying D Cantina for the Flying D race, and it's always a great time. So to be able to get to do it in the summer and then again uh, later on in January, it'll be a lot of fun to do that. And it'll be out of the West, I assume.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Yes. Crosswinds.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge. Texas heat with some crosswinds, and yeah, it'll be a
Yeah.
real good challenge for the birds down there.
And we're gonna do it. It's gonna work out that we're gonna start taking them February 1st, so it'll work out that we can use. We'll be able to use the brand new loft right by the cantina, so we'll be able to enjoy it and sit on the porch, and it won't be as hot under a tent and that kind of stuff. Will be right there at the cantina. You can go in the air conditioner, or you can sit on the porch and enjoy the shade and the loft that's right there in front of it, and you'll be able to enjoy every bit of it. So it'll be fun.
And there's a loft tour we did on my YouTube channel. People can check out. We walked through the loft, showed them everything on the new loft. Really awesome.
Definitely.
Well, Chad, let's hear about the Blue Angel Classic because I know you're still taking birds, right?
Yes, sir. We got two more weeks to take them to the end of July.
Perfect. And
It's a good one. Get in it. Mine are already there. Can't wait.
I'm sending two on Monday. So I've got two babies that are weaned and vaccinated and look good and look like the right type of bird for down there. So I'm gonna be sending a couple down there on Monday.
Well, we appreciate it too.
And it's a warmer kind of South African kind of climate down there, right?
Yeah, and I was
It,
gonna say it takes a little tougher bird for that race as well.
yeah, it's pretty much a working course. Our final races are anywhere from 12 to 1,400 yards. We fly in February is when our final race is. So, and
Perfect.
then I mean it's a different course because where our 350 is in the mountains of Tennessee, and it comes back to flat down here. At the sea level. It takes a little special bird to come on our course too.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Well,
It's good.
Well,
He trains good. The birds are in good health. He always does a good job every year. It's a
yeah.
good one to get in.
Well, what's the status with the loft, Ken? What's going on in your loft?
oh, we just getting birds still trap trained and ready because I use a netting system on part of it, so we got two sections still with the net up for all these. So matter of fact, we just went and picked up three 10 birds this morning that we just put in a loft. So, we'll get them all trap trained and we got the four big sections open. So as soon as we see them trap training, we move them over. Like we have the others out loft line, just letting them build those air sacks and getting going good. And 'cause we got plenty of time now, we just gonna be loft line, letting them get up there. They got a big group and good together. And then once we get probably, mid-September, we'll really start pushing on them a little bit then. But they all, that gives them plenty of time to home in good and get ready to roll. So it's like we got plenty of time for the winter meat race, so we're not pushing on them too hard right now, just
Right.
letting them
That is
loft
hot.
fly and
Yeah.
getting them going. That's right.
Yeah.
I know one something we can bring up too, Chad. Maybe we need to be a good time to discuss the Texas Open race. That's another
Yes.
thing the Texas Center puts on.
The Texas Center hosts the Texas Open race every year from Jacksonville, Arkansas. It's anywhere from clubs from 200 to 600 miles. It's an open race. You don't have to be a Texas Center member. This year we had right at 700 pigeons. I think there was right around 60 lofts from all over. It's a good thing.
Yeah, from
Yes,
all the
it
way from
is.
Florida to Texas to
In
Oklahoma to
Missouri, I think they
Louisiana. It
have
was
a
everywhere. Yeah.
one
And
club
birds
up
get
in
up. They get
Missouri.
up and go in every direction, boys. It's a good one.
I think they had six trailers this year. That turn loose. They go anywhere from over at my house over here at the Florida Alabama line to New Orleans to Wichita Falls to up in Oklahoma. I think there was actually a club from Missouri there this year.
Yeah.
We invite anybody that wants to be a part of it, get a hold of me or look on the website, get a hold of Erica or any of us, and we can steer you in the right direction.
What's your
Yes,
guys'
and that,
mileage? What's your mileage for? Because for me, I think it's like a I don't know, 220 to 230 for me, I think, if I'm remembering right.
I think I'm right
well,
around 400, I believe.
yeah, you should be because I think we 328 over here. You
I'm
know,
I'm
guys, and that's a good. Oh, go ahead, sorry, but
I'm 380. I'm 382.
yeah,
You guys are quite a bit further than me.
yeah, that's a good race, and that's a race. We could have a big regional race, and it's broke down by sections. Because yes, you always have an overall winner, but within the sections, you still competing
Yeah.
within us, like let's say Tulsa, y'all might have a headwind, we have a tailwind, or some years we got a headwind, y'all. The overall winner's gonna vary by the wind,
We're
obviously.
gonna be, yeah, Mother Nature.
But you still competing within your section as well. So, we can fly 360 around that Jacksonville release, and you still gonna be competing with your area as well.
Seems
And
like
then you just have your bird ready whenever the wind is in your favor. You can take advantage of it to win the overall.
it's
Yeah.
always the first weekend of May, and it seems like
Yeah,
every year we have a different weather every year. I mean,
Hmm.
exactly.
it may be clear over where Jeff and them is in Oklahoma, and be cloudy and rainy down towards my way and Ken's way,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's always it's a neat thing that everybody can get together and race at one time.
Yeah. Ken dominated it last year. It
Yeah,
was it
Past
was
two
it was
years,
his day. It was his
Yeah,
win.
yeah.
So he spanked our butts. But
yeah.
that's just the way it is. You can't beat Mother
It
Nature. She
is.
batting a
No,
thousand.
you can't. That's right. And then
The
on
year.
those kind of races, that's just a model. You just have your birds ready, so when the conditions favor you, you can
Yep.
take
Take
advantage of it.
advantage.
Yeah,
The
Yeah.
year before,
yeah,
the year
yeah.
before, up in this area, the long guys up here, we only had 3 day birds. You
Yeah.
know, it was David Williams, Kenny Kelly, and myself. It was 1, 2, 3, and I was the furthest guy in the whole race
You're right.
that got a
You're right.
pigeon. So it's fun.
It is
it's,
So
fun.
it's
I like those kind of races. Yeah.
yeah,
it's a fun race, and I think we need to incorporate more of them to keep the sport alive
We
and keep
do.
people interested.
And just the
yeah,
guys, for anybody would be interested, Walt, and awards are given at the summer convention banquet for this race. They give
yep.
out
You got
a
you got your
section
plaque in your
winners.
in the loft.
Yes, no, it's in the house.
Okay,
It didn't make it out yet.
I was gonna get you to show everybody
It
the
is nice. I really like it. They did a good job with the awards this year.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's sitting right here behind me.
Yep, yep. There
My
you
award,
go.
one of them.
Yep.
Oh,
And you saw it, everybody, it's like each section gets its own. They give out diplomas, and they gave out plaques for each section. So it's like I said, you're competing with, if guys would come in from Nashville or whatever, you're going to be competing with you. Because obviously, flying opposite of Tulsa and Dallas, you flying a completely different race, but you're
oh yeah.
competing against your own group.
And it's
I apologize. My distance is 347, and it was 942 yards a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
So pigeon race. I mean, it's
yeah,
tough.
Oh
yeah.
yeah, and look, that's another. It's like club and combine racing. They cut the trailer loose. Pretty much all the birds are heading in the same general area.
Yeah,
This race, bro, they
360
going
degrees.
on. It's
every direction.
multiple states. So if you don't have a home in Pigeon, he's going to the wrong state.
He's ended up at Chad's up there in Florida.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
And that's the closest thing we get to what they do in Belgium, right? Is that type of race
Correct,
where birds are
correct,
going at a bunch of different directions, and yeah, some wind is going to decide who wins it nationally. But Belgium, they have their provincial sections,
correct.
just
And
like
that's
we
what
have
I.
our sections
Yeah.
here. So, you're not just you're there's no other option for me other than one loft racing. There's no other option for me to race against you guys unless we do this. And
Yep.
it's something that I think every region across the country can do these types of releases with multiple states and get some participation that way. So, yeah, definitely people need to come be a part of that. Come be a part of that release and enter that race. That's pretty awesome. It's one of
It
my
is
favorite
fun.
times of the year.
Yeah, it's fun.
It is.
Heck yeah.
So we heard what Ken's up to. What's going on with your race, Paul? You're pulling flights,
Uh,
or you already pulled flights? I can't
I
remember.
already pulled flights last week, but this week is our last week of intake, and we should get our last birds tomorrow. They're been shipped, and we'll get them in the morning, and then we're good to go. We got 90. Everything that's here is already in and settled, and the flights are already pulled. And then this last little group that's coming in, we'll clip theirs when they get here, and we'll pull them in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and everything will be pretty much good. We pull the 4 center tail feathers right when they get here, and so we got plenty of time, and we're the last weekend of January. So normally we don't even have to do this. I normally don't even pull but the 10th, and don't even have to do it if I really didn't want to, because the birds always make it. But I just don't want them missing anything when we're trying to push them down the road nice and hard. So just makes it easier on them, and so we'll see what happens. But other than that, the birds are doing good. Health is really holding good this year, um, extremely good. So we've only lost two to health, and only lost one pigeon off the loft, but from releasing. So
Great,
we're hanging in there pretty good so far. Should have about 350 something this year.
great.
So should
That's
be
awesome.
good.
And Chad, what about you? Where are you at in the Blue Angel process?
We're still just training and letting them out, when we can with the weather and all been here lately. But the first weekend in August, we're gonna pull the 10th flight and go from there.
What's the website for the Blue Angel Classic?
BlueAngelClassic.com.
BlueAngelClassic.com. Then we've got, what about your
Everything's on the Wind Companion.
Wing Companion? What about you, Paul? What's the website?
Flying D franchise futurity.com.
.com. And for the Texas Center Winter Meet, it'll be on Wind Companion and also Texas.
Well, it's on, I don't know on the Wind Companion. Because Eric and them tried to get that set up and never could get it ironed out, but it will be on Benzing
Benzing
Live
Live.
for sure,
Yeah.
and on the txcenter.org
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. That's just go to txcenter.org and click on the winter convention, and there you are.
Yeah, well, because Jana, and also the Texas Center has its own Facebook page because she
That's
does
what I
post a
Right.
lot of stuff on it as well.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome, gentlemen. I enjoyed this. This is fun. It's always when I've done these things, it's always been one-on-one. So to do a
Right.
test run like this with four, this is fun. We need to do it again,
Yeah.
and it worked. I appreciate you.
I enjoyed getting on here talking with pigeons and get to see everybody too.
Yeah, it's fun.
Oh, good times.
All
Yes,
right,
it
guys.
is. A good
This is
thing
what we
you
should be
doing all
doing.
that, Jim. That's right.
Yep.
Just keeping
Thanks.
it pushing.
Yep. Well, thank you guys for taking the time to do this. And again, we encourage everybody watching, come be a part of this. Message us on Facebook or contact us on our websites and partake, be a part of it. And we'd love to have you. So thanks again, guys. We'll do this again. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
So long from the Flying D.
All right.
See
And the Blue Angel.
y'all.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Bye,
Hey,
everybody.
guys.
Later.
Thanks.
Later.